No,
We are
God.
super excited. Yeah!
Cinema is something. It's our culture. It'll never go. It'll never go out of you.
Is Netflix listening? Yeah. Yeah, he's like, हाँ बस हो गया. अभी
हाँ,
Kirti
अभी
बोल दिया ना, हाँ,
जो हाँ. Kirti Ribhu, welcome to Desimartini, and Bad of Blood is releasing in just a few days. How's the excitement?
Super excited.
And you see, we're like so excited.
No,
we are
God.
super excited. Yeah!
Yeah, that's like the energy.
Yeah.
So congratulations for Mission Mangal. First of all,
Thank you.
did phenomenally
Yeah.
well. So tell me something about your character, because in the trailer we see very less of your character. So who is she?
Is Netflix listening? Yeah. So my character's name is Jannat Murray, and she's a Baluchi girl, and she's somebody who fights for her people's rights. You know, she's fighting for women's rights. She's helping women who have lost their sons and husbands and brothers to the other forces, is trying to help them find them. She's also she studied in UK. She's actually an artist. She's a painter.
Okay.
And when she comes back home after all this, she kind of gives it all up to be there for her people. And I think she's a leader in the in the most in the way a leader should be. And I think she's a very, very strong and powerful character, and she completely personifies, I think, what it means to be a woman. And when I say that, I mean, usually women are known for their ability to kind of sacrifice to a great extent, and I think she kind of personifies that quality of a woman.
Tell me, Ribhu, when you read the novel, did you ever think that adaptation could be done on this one, or that you could be directing it?
I think adapting Bar of Blood into a series is a very, very good call, because the book has so much of material in it, and when I read the book, I loved the book. And when I went back and spoke to Gaurav and Bilal, I told them that how much I read it and I really love it. And then they told me that they're going to make a series out of it, and then I read a couple of more episodes, and the way Mayank had written it, adapted it, it was really, really cool. And it was and also because the kind of espionage thriller it is, the grandeur it is, the kind of locations I knew that I have to find to make this series, to do justice to this series. So it was a challenge. So I think if you put all these things together, I think it was a great decision to look forward to, and I ended up directing it.
So, you're one of the first people who introduced this concept of finite series on TV. I'm talking about youth, of course. So now when it has come to an OTT platform like Netflix, what do you think has changed, or how would the reception change? Do you think it would be better, or like TV also had its own ups?
No, I think when I met you with Mr. Bachchan in 2013, I think the reach with Netflix now is 190 countries, 190 plus countries. So it's tremendous, and the kind of content Netflix is making day in, day out, it's phenomenal. So I think it's the best time to make content for digital, for web, and Bard is something which we really, really have put our heart and soul making it, all of us, from the actors to the crew. And the 27th of September it's out. Let's see what happens.
So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, we are excited.
Everything is crossed.
We are excited. I can only say that we are excited.
Kirti, how has life changed after working for OTT platforms for you as well?
Firstly, to begin with, as an actor, I think I have kind of it's so much more satisfactory to kind of work on OTT platforms, because you really get to explore yourself as an actor. You really get to go that extra mile, for what you're doing, for the character that you're playing, which is super satisfying. On the and now talking about from the other side, I think the way the audiences connect with you, or they have connected with me in my case, is amazing. Like, I mean, because they see so much more of you. They're literally with you on your journey, on your character's journey, and I think that just makes the connection with the people so much stronger.
Right.
And And thankfully, my first show has done very, very well, and we have a season 2 of that coming, and then this is now happening on Netflix. So I have some good things in my kitty, and I think it's I'm hoping and very hopeful that this show would do well too.
What is it for both of you, OTT or mainstream?
I think both have their own charm, you know. Like, while I just spoke about OTT, where speaking about the good, you know, the side of it, where you get to do so much more as an actor. The films, just the fact that you see yourself on 70 mm, the whole world is watching you on a big screen, and of course, like before OTT platforms, it's only been films, you know,
Right.
and people have watched and enjoyed film for years. So I think that's something that will always stay, you know, and I think that uska jo ek charm hai, and I love seeing myself on the big screen, and being a part of such wonderful stories, because not everything needs to be told in the form of series, and not everything needs to be told in 2 hours. So now you have a choice between, okay, you want a longer time to tell a story, here you are, and if 2 hours are enough, you can say it here. So both are for
It
me,
has
they're
opened new
both
avenues.
both absolutely, and both are at par for me. Like, I enjoy both of them completely.
Okay. Ribhu, you?
Yeah, I think she has rightly put this together. I see, cinema is something. It's our culture. It'll never go. It'll never go out of you. And at the end of the day, as a filmmaker, I want to tell stories, uh, theatrical, digital, both. Uh, Depends on which book or which story will attract a theatrical audience or should be made into a series. That's a call which one should take in the process of making it. But yeah, both absolutely. There's no denial that I would want to make films and as well as series for digital platforms.
So when you read the novel, did you have any person in mind when you read the characters, and did you actually get them when you finally made Bard of Blood?
No. So when I read the book, as a reader, and then when we started pre-production and we started casting, we really wanted the casting to be unique, because it was one of its kind series, and it took us time to cast this series. And I think Gaurav from Red Chilies, me, and the casting director, we spent a lot of time brainstorming who's the right for which part. For example, like, you see her playing Jannat, you see Vineet Singh playing Veer Singh in, I think, these calls, Shobita playing Isha. These calls were not taken overnight. We actually sat, jammed, and we spent a lot of time, and we then zeroed down to all these great actors. So it was a very important decision to be made before we started shooting, because you need strong actors to play these strong characters. So we had to give that much of time.
Absolutely. So also, what's the current Netflix series that you guys are binge watching on?
See, I've not been getting time. After I finished Bard and then I post-produced Bard, I was out of India. I was shooting a film in London for 2 months, so I couldn't get much time. But I think I should immediately go back and start watching Money Heist 3. So yeah, for me that.
I want to finish Sacred Games 2, which I started in London, and I want to move on to I think Peaky Blinders and Mindhunters.
Okay. And talking about London and your next film, you guys are collaborating again. Right.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was shooting Girl on the Train in London with Parinithi.
Yes.
So we had a 40-day, 50-day sked in London. So we just got back from there.
Oh, for the promotions, right?
For the promotions, and yeah.
So tell us, just to wrap it up, why should we watch Bard of Blood?
Because it's something that you haven't really seen, in India before. Not in the form of series, for sure. And because it's in the form of a series, there's so much more thrill, there's so much more drama that you actually get to see, and you have got some brilliant actors, some great performances, and a show that will leave you wanting for more.
Okay. That
Ribhu?
Yeah, I think that's
He's
the word.
speechless most of the time.
Yeah, he's like, हाँ बस हो गया अभी कीर्ति ने बोल दिया ना
अभी
हाँ
बस
बस
जो हाँ.
I think the trailer has generated quite a lot of excitement with the audience, and the response we have got is overwhelming. So I think people will 27th of September people will watch Bar of Blood.
So we will end our interaction here, and thank you so much for
Thank
being a
you so
part of
much. Thank you.
Desimartini.
Thank you so much.
you.